right, testing 1 2 1 2. Here's a clap for the CK boy. Ooh. Oh, I'm so good. Damn. Okay. All right. Let's begin. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another IGN Deconstructed. It's been a while since I did one, but it's okay because for this time, we'll be talking about a brand new game that only came out on the 30th of April. By the time you see this, it's probably gonna be like after because your girl was really stuck at the game. Anyways, the game is called Returnal, and this is a game developed by House Mark and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Now, if I could say one controversial line about the game, it would be that Returnal is like crack because it is addicting. Let me just tell you guys, Returnal has elements of games that I absolutely loathe and hate, and you would never catch me playing those games. Number 1, roguelike. Number 2, elements of psychological horror. 2 of my most hated video game elements. I mean, you'll probably see me play horror, but you wouldn't catch me play roguelike for sure. Now let's talk about the story. Play as a woman named Celine. It is very sci-fi-ish. You're traveling through space and then crash into some unknown planet which seems to shapeshift and adapt as you move through it. So she's there because she feels that there's a mysterious call calling her to a planet. There's something on that planet that she needs to answer to. So while she goes to the planet, she also finds that she has to recollect her memories, and the planet seems to help her recall it. And while she navigates through that planet is alive, it shapeshifts, map changes every round, and the flora and fauna on the planet are aggressive and they try to kill you, basically. When you die, you have to restart all over again, right? But when you die, when you restart, it's as though like it's part of the story to die. You'll wake up and you'll recall how you died and you begin again. But that's not the worst part about it. Let's go into gameplay. So the game actually comes with bullet hell elements with all of these lasers and bullets coming around you, and you're supposed to dodge and jump through it. And the game is incredibly hard. Like, I would say on par with Souls games. It'd be what it be. So when you go through the map, you get to pick up buffs, you get to pick up some debuffs, you have to pick up some artifacts which you can swap around, and it gives you bonuses or even heals depending on which artifact you choose. So these artifacts, some of them are malignant and you require either to cleanse it. But if you don't have either, you can still pick it up, but it comes with a penalty. There's a chance that you may have a suit, your space suit may be malfunctioning, and you either would damage or you move slower or you deal less damage, this stuff like that. But it can be cleansed so long as you finish the tasks given at hand, which aren't too bad, honestly. Totally fine. But some tasks take so long that you end up finishing the whole map with that stupid task on hand. And if you pick up multiple malignant artifacts, these debuffs actually stack. So you don't want to have too many of those. There are some buffs that are permanent, which you get to keep after death. But if, say, you have gone through maybe 2 or 3 maps, you have like a 28 HP buff with a buff on your damage and weapon proficiency and all that, and then you died and you lost all of that. You have to get up, go through the maps over again, and try your best to collect everything that you lost. God, thinking about it. But the thing is, despite all of that, the game's battle mechanics, the game is actually just so good. It's just so exciting that it actually makes me so addicted to the game. Like, I hate the game. I'm so mad and angry, and it's just so hard. I rage. I want to throw my DualSense controller, but at the same time, after I die, I'm just like, I still need to go on. I still need to do it. Because it does have a pretty intense and great storyline, really fun action battles. It's just so good. I don't know how to say it, but it's just really good. Now, speaking about the DualSense controller, I just want to say something about it. So this is one of those games that because this is actually a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and for a good reason. So when I'm walking through an area with rain, you can actually feel like the pitter-patter of the rain on your controller. It's actually such a nice feeling. It feels like, you know, when you're walking in the rain with an umbrella, it feels just like that, which is so good. Also, when you're shooting your gun, I love how they use the use of the haptic feedback on this. Like if say that you click it halfway, you look down sights. If you click it all the way, you actually activate your weapon special, which is really nice. Shooting over here as well, like this. Every time you shoot, you actually feel like there's a burst or like a recoil of your weapon. And if say you have your ultimate, you have the electricity burst, like you actually feel the burst of energy on the controller, which is really, really nice. I really like it. When you jump, you actually feel like your pack is like moving up, and when you dash, you actually feel like there's a dash feeling on your controller. I don't know how to explain it, but that's how it feels, and it feels so good. Now, I don't own these Sony headphones, but I really wish that I did, because from what I hear, you can actually hear the whiz and the feeling of the shots from the enemy passing by you, and I wish I got to try that. So honestly, in the future, I really want to try get that and play this game because it sounds so cool. Oh, also one more thing. When you're playing the game, sometimes you actually get to hear some really creepy sounds coming from the controller. So I actually had headphones on. I didn't really catch it at first, but once I took it off and I just went AFK, I noticed those sounds like whispers coming from the controller. I'm like, what is that sound? It's so creepy, but yes, it was there. It was actually there. Now let's talk about graphics. So this game has one of the best graphics I have seen so far in a PlayStation 5 game. The monsters, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it just looks so good. It's not super realistic, but it looks great. Everything looks super solid. The colors are vibrant, and because of how creepy the area is, because of how great the graphics are, it really puts it in a whole new level. So I'm not the best when it comes to playing these sort of games. I still tried my best to actually go through it. I managed to get all the way to the end of map 2 before I finally called it dying over and over, which is really unfortunate. But now that this review is out, I'm really excited to hop back into the game and finish it as best that I can. Their bosses in the game are surprisingly, this is a weird thing, I find myself not dying to bosses as much because it's actually okay to deal with. I'm dying more to a lot of normal monsters around, which is super frustrating. By the way, guys, speaking of that, dying in battles, you can actually pick up guns in the game and you can switch it around depending on what you want. And later in the game, you actually get a glowing katana, which you can use to access different areas in the game which were not previously accessible before. And that's all from me. And honestly, right now the game is out. You can get it on the PlayStation Store, but it's a little bit pricier. But for what it's worth, the game is absolutely worth it, and I 100% recommend you getting this game even when you're not a fan of psychological horror or even bullet hells. Anyways, I'm Tash. I'm about to hop back into Returnal. Perhaps I'll stream it on IGN Southeast Asia, so be sure to check it out on Fridays, 1 p.m. Bye guys!